Okay, so now we are in Timisoara, Romania.
We have a very complicated game after the opening against a young player from Poland who was very well prepared theoretically, and he played very well the openings usually. Well, it happened like this: if I could win this, I could win the second time the international championship of Romania in '87. This time ex aequo, but the first time in '67 I could win alone. I mean, yeah. All right, so we play this Queen's Indian, and he played a very complicated line with Bishop A6. And after Bishop A6, White can play B3, Queen C2, Queen A4, Knight BD2, everything.
Yes.
All right, Knight BD2. After Knight BD2, novelty B5. Well, in that time, considered very big novelty B5. Well, it's okay. Black can play quickly. I mean, he wants to play very quickly B5 and then C5 and have control of, on the central squares and free himself a little bit in the opening very quickly, you see. It's his idea. So now if you want something, you have to take in B5. And now, of course, normal line is bishop G2 and D5 now. Now did they play castle? And now immediately after castle, C5. Very ambitious, very ambitious. Okay, he played C5, he took with the bishop. Now, if you look at this position, White doesn't play something very quickly, Black is all right, Black could free himself very quickly by playing B5, C5, and he can hope after castle and knight BD7 knight C6 have a normal position, nothing happens, It seems. But White is better because he could castle and he's free to arrive very quickly on the queen side, After B4 is very unpleasant for Black because if he takes him B4, he loses by 4 something,
So he's not a free pawn here.
No, I mean, if he tries to take,
Yeah.
if he goes back, it's something else. Like it's our game.
Yeah.
But if he goes back, White could play with tempo B4, which is very good, and comes very quickly with very big initiative on the queen side. But if he took, if he took in B4, he loses something by force. For instance, Queen B3. After Queen B3, what can he do?
Oh, sorry.
Queen B3.
Yes.
We attack the two bishops. If he plays, for instance, Queen A5, we have time to play Rook B1. And okay, Rook B1, we're attacking the two bishops,
Yeah.
And after Knight C6, for instance, Queen B3, Queen A5, Rook B1, Knight C6, the only way to, to protect them. Yes. After he loses by force by move A3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two bishops, and he loses one bishop or material, something like that. Okay, so he can't take, so he has to go back. And of course, it was a very nasty surprise for him that something like this was possible, so he has to retreat, But now with tempo, we come with the other pawn, A4. Bishop D7. It was a little bit better probably to play bishop C6 and later after B5, bishop B7. But okay, he allowed this with tempo and he continued with bishop D7, rook B1, provocative again, queen E7. I mean, he's not quiet here. He has to castle very quickly, to accept the fact that he's worse. And at least he can castle and, okay, try to resist later on. But by playing such a provocative line, he accepts the complications, the tactical complications, and it will be a catastrophe for him after the opening, you see, very quickly. You see. So, okay, B5. Now it's already very unpleasant for Black because for the moment the knight from B8 doesn't play, and we can arrive very quickly with one free pawn on the queen side, you see. A5, A6 or A5, B6, In many cases, decisive, you see. We have to try to open immediately by opening the diagonal. That is the line to win with White, you see. To give a pawn in E4 and then opening completely the position. If we arrive to this, White is winning. You see. So, right, A6. Again, I tell you, castle was the good move, the best move. And here, okay, after a6,
he's not quiet at all.
yeah, he tries in any position to have some counterplay very quickly, And okay, e4, very logical. Now white has time to open. Now he's forced to take in e4 because we threaten a piece, e4, e5, and white wins a piece,
Yes.
But now if you are forced to take, then it's very bad. And now it's probably lost already for black, you see. Because we can open. If we can open, it's too much, So knight d5, now he realized and he tries to close the position. I mean, to close the diagonal, but it's too late. Now the other knight is coming and we prepare the next combination, you see. So now the bishop, he tries to keep the bishop now, I mean, to close the position, more or less. If he has one move here, it's okay, but he has no time, you see. And now the second surprise, very nasty surprise, we took in f7. Now he's lost in any position. Why? He has no time to take with the queen, because if he takes normally with the queen, after rook takes b4, knight d6 check, he lost the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if he takes with the king, if he takes with the king, then knight g5 check, bishop takes d5, and the rest, catastrophe for black, mating attack, crashing attack,
Wow.
terrible, here.
Everything is.
So finally he realized the danger, and after knight takes there, he castle, late, but maybe later than never, you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the attack continues, knight g5. Now what to do? Now if he takes in f7, very bad, he loses at least exchange or more, So what did he play here?
He took.
He took, yeah. And now when he took there, I took in d5, and he resigned because he loses every piece here. In the final position, he's losing every piece. Now what to do? Now for instance, he takes. Now, white can take first in b4 and then takes in d5, or take immediately in d5. Well, if he takes in d5, now look, the bishop is attacked, the rook from a8 is attacked, the other rook from f7 is attacked. If he moves, for instance, rook a7, b6, and he loses the rook. It's a terrible position.
Yes. No way to escape.
Okay, he resigned.
Yes.
Well, he was taking too many risks, let's say the truth. But the game was beautiful, very, very beautiful game at the end.
Everything collapsed.
Everything collapsed, unfortunately for him. It was like a small fortress, but, very weak fortress at the end,
House on sand.
Yeah, terrible position, finally. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, instructive game. Yeah, very nice miniature. I mean, 19 moves or something like this, The game was decided. I won the tournament. This time everybody was happy. Romanian side, I mean, So
beautiful.
It happened.
Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
All right.